Yo, what is going on, everybody? It's your boy Sin, and it's gonna be a little different from my usual Wi-Fi content here. Um, it's a decent bit ago now at this point. I did a showdown league. Showdown league was ran by Keegan, so I just want to give a huge shout out to Keegan for creating the league and inviting me, and then shout out to Khaz for um he's the one that was the reason the league got going and why I got in it. So big shout out to both of them. So this is the Orlando Magic Guard League. League with 16 coaches, 8-week regular season, and the playoffs. Few, like big time people that I was looking forward to hopefully playing. I know we have Keegan and Khaz, obviously. And then we have Kirby, Diet Tate, and OG Albina, as well as some few other people I know. I'm looking forward to playing. But let's get into my draft real quick before we go through the weeks. So I ended up getting picked 13 out of 16, I believe. When it came to me, um, I was like, I want to get a good ground early here. And I was looking at four of them. There was Tinglu, Garchomp, Iron Treads, and Lando. And I would have been fine with any of the four. So instead of taking one right away, um, you can just be able to see Owen was 16, so there's only three people after me, meaning unless a team takes double ground, which I don't think is gonna happen, 1-2, I'm guaranteed to get one of them anyway. So I decided to go Slowk and Galar round one, as that's what I wanted round two to follow up my ground type. Um, and it was more likelihood of being sniped. So I got Slowk and Galar round one. I got Lando Theory in round two, which is the ground type I actually wanted the most. Um, so it was pretty good round one, round two for me. When I came back around, I saw Cinderace was still there, and speed's really important in Gen 9. Having something around the 120 range. So I grabbed Cinderace right away, made sure I secured my top Speedmon. And the fourth round down, I went for Keldeo. That Keldeo wasn't the first captain I wanted, but with round pick 13, I wasn't gonna get into the top ones I really wanted. And Keldeo looked fun. King 05 used it really well in BBR, and it looked really fun when he was using BBR. It looked like something that would be fun to use every week. So that's what I went with as my main Terra captain around four. Then as around five came along, I was originally going to go with Terra Hydropla in this slot. Um, but I figured that getting Clefable for all the utility it provides is going to be more impactful because I wasn't grabbing Hydropla as a main Terra captain. I was getting it as a secondary one to my Keldeo. Um, so that's a more replaceable role than everything that Clefable gives me. Uh, Fairy type for all the dragons that are running around, prevents them from running like Bandit Outrage into me from facing Garchomp. Whatever. Was well with Heal Wish, another Rock Setter. Q-Wave for Disruption, Unaware, stop setup. All that. I feel like Clefable is just so much value, especially this late. Around 5 out of 8 is in the back half of the draft, so I didn't really want to pass it up. And then 6 going for Terra Hydropple. I feel like Terra Hydropple was a really nice pairing with Keldeo, as so far the team I have is pretty mixed, like a team that could swing either way. It could be offensive or defensively, focused every week. So having Hydropple as a secondary Terra to Keldeo will be really nice for the weeks where I want to take it a slower route. And I can run bulky Glowking, bulky Lando, bulky Clef, bulky Hydropple. Cinderace can be bulky, with Willow, Core Change, Super Fang, stuff like that. I feel like it was a really nice fit. And then for my last two picks, I went Sableye because I'm a big Sableye chooser. I think it's very good for its price point. I feel like it has so much utility. For 5 points, it's able to spin block relatively well. You have priority two-way, priority encore, stuff like that. It's really anti-Mickey. And then I run it with Registeel. Although Registeel isn't going to be the most used mon, it's a 4-point steal that is very bulky. Another Rockset, another two-wave. Now the only thing I would have rather have on this team is Spikes, but I'm not gonna be bringing a 4-pointer majority of the time, and if I, like, there's a matchup where I'm like, "Oh, wow, I really want to have my spiker here," but then I look at my spikers, I don't know, fucking Quilladin, I'm gonna be really sad, so I decided to go with Registeel. Gives us some decent utility in some weeks. Yeah, this is the team I ended up with. There weren't that many snipes. I had a pretty tame draft when it comes to, having to rebuild and stuff, so I'm pretty happy with that. I like how the teams are in. That was actually one of my favorite teams I've ever used up to this point. Yeah, let's get into our week 1 now. Okay, so here we are for week 1. Week 1, we ended up facing, Willow Rush. Willow's team consists of Terra and Amherst Incarnate, Iron Treads, Rotom Wash, Como, Basque Legion, Cinccino Terra, Deoxys Defense, and Hisuian Quillfish. Now, one of the things I really liked when looking at it was Water Specs Keldeo, as Como and Basque Legion aren't the most sound resists. Like, Basque Legion can be a very bulky Assault Vest set and, check it, but if it's not, like, super bulky AV, it still takes so much damage. Como can just get 2 code if he's, like, max HP. If he's not max HP, I can switch into it, pretty efficiently. And then Rotom Wash can swap in, but even if it's there are, like, a couple factors. One, even if he's super Spliff, he takes a lot. 2, if he is super Spliff, if I get 1 Secret Sword prediction, I'm in a great spot. And then 3, I don't have trouble switching into it at all. You know, like, I can switch in the Rotom Wash easily. I have a Hydrapple switch. I have a Lando switch if I think Volt Switch is coming out. I have Glow-King switch if needed. So it's not like letting in Rotom Wash is bad. So I was like, we're just gonna try to win with this. So, um, I decided to take this as a really bulky, paste, with a big hitter Keldeo, and, without Cinderace on the build, who, like, I didn't really like here. I was pretty weak to, like, Hazard Sack from Quillfish and stuff, so I went with a boot spam here. Uh, we have a Crazy Spliff AV, Glow-King, so we live 2 Timid Terragon Terrablasts after rocks from Enam, and then shove Sludge Bomb as, a strong stab move here. Flamethrower for the Treads, Ice Beam for the Como, and then, I have Future Sight in case I wanna click it for anything. Next, we have a mixed defense Lando. We live Max Attack Timid Pump from Washington. I don't not necessarily expect him to be max attack, but EVing for that gives me some leeway. If I do take a little bit of chip, I am able to live a Hydro Pump if he is defensive. And I show the rest in defense with a little bit for speed. We have Rocks, EQ, Taunt, U-turn. And then we have our big breaker, Terra Water, Specs, Keldeo, Surf, Flip, Vac, and Secret Sword. We're just max special attack, creeping, and treads, and a little extra in the HP. Next up is our Clefable earning Boots Unaware, as one of the only lose cons I was running into in mocks was like set up Como winning or something like that. So we are running max HP, max defense, or not max HP with mixed defenses. We have 2 Life Orb Boom Bursts from Como, as well as 2 modest Moonblasts from non-boosting item Enam. I should have the rest in defense to help into a DD Como with we have Moonblast Flamethrower for our stabs as they go pretty hard into this team. I have Moonlight for healing if I need to stick around, and I have H-Wish because having H-Wish allows me to play my Keldeo pretty aggressively into something like the Washom, the Como, Basque Legion, and Dio. I don't have to worry about taking like a T away from Dio if he lives, getting hit with like Dragon Claw or whatever from Como if he lives, um, Volt Switch or 2 away from Rotom. So having the H research allows me to full heal, get rid of my status. And then next up we have a Spit F Hydrapple. Running no speed, Terra Steel Gyro Ball. Here I don't really expect to ever tear this guy, but if needed, I like it. Gyro Ball does a bunch to um Enam. Like it takes so much damage from Gyro Ball, especially if he's scarfed. Um if you're not scared, I have my Keldeo Revenge. So we just have optimal HP for regen, and then we have max but F a little bit extra in this stack. Fickle Beam is just there for, its strong move with the 30% all out is pretty much a reason to run it every week. Then we have Jarble for the Enam, obviously. We have Giga Drain, which is nice for the Rotom Wash, and a nice little mid ground and some things. And then we have Earth Power if you really need to hit the treads or the Cool Fish. Last up, we have Sableye running Boots, max HP, max Fizz Def, because that allows us to spin block treads. We have Recover, Wisp, Anchor, Knockoff, a little bit of a help into like a setup Como-O, and then we can fire off Nox if we put it on a spin. We always have 2 EQs, so we're in a good spot like that wise. Like we switch on the spin, we can knock off if he stays in EQs. We're fine. Yeah, that's gonna be the team for one. I will see you all in the battle here. Okay, so here we are in the battle. We're gonna see that he decided to bench the Como and Cinchino. Not too surprising there. I was expecting Enam, Washam, Quillfish, Dio, and Shreds, and then I can understand Basket Legion or Como in the last slot. So as for this 60 brought, this is just gonna be lead Keldeo and click Surf turn 1 into literally anything. I'm fine taking a hit off leader, taking a status. There's not gonna be a bad outcome from me just lead surfing. So we're gonna load up as well, and we're gonna see Terra Fire on his Enam. Now, Fire made me think that he's gonna be some kind of like superpower, um, or like setup set. I think if you're gonna be a choice set, you're gonna be ground to just get through sloking easier. But yeah, we're just gonna lead off in the DL. I'm gonna fire for Terra Water Surf instantly. This surf damage can show he's not super spef, not no spef either. Mixed. We're gonna pull Hijap off the red card. I can't lose my boots on that guy, so I just go hard Lando. As I take a knock, I'm just gonna use a turn to get my rocks up. As you get U-turn on the Rotom, I'm gonna get a little bit of chip. I'm gonna reveal that he's helmet. That damage also revealed he has a decent bit of Fizz Def. But that shit's pivot into Hydrapple pretty easily. We're gonna take a Volt Switch here. As we Gig Drain. Just a mid ground into like treads while still pressuring the Rotom. Quillfish comes out. I'm just gonna Earth Power, expecting the spike. He goes for a Toxic there. I get some chip. Not wanting to minimize his Pain Split recovery, I'm gonna go hard Lando. As he's gonna go hard Rotom Wash, as I'm just gonna U-turn out again, take a little bit more hazards. But I have my dude here who's always gonna live any hit, whatever, fire some damage. As he's gonna go back out into Quillfish, I'm gonna Fickle Beam here to cover it. He showed he wasn't going Enam or Treads. As he lives on 1, I'm just gonna go into my Lando to diffuse this Pain Split. As firing off this U-turn here will was only like swap to Keldeo into surf range. So now Keldeo just comes out and gets to claim some. So we're just gonna claim this Rotom here. He's gonna go out into his Enam. He's gonna reveal boots, so he's not sure, so I should get to click surf again, and Enam dies. As Basket is gonna come out, I'm just gonna go hard out into my Hydrapple. We're gonna take a Nightshade there. Now Ice is gonna come out, but we are full spef, so we are able to live that. We get a big Gig Drain off, and that is gonna put him in surf range of Keldeo now. As he's gonna go for another Ice Beam, pick up the KO on Hydrapple. But now this is just Keldeo food. Keldeo is gonna be able to outspeed and hit pretty much everything. We're gonna surf here. Now, we're in a really strong position here. Keldeo is just like 3 surfs away from winning. And the only way I ever lose this game here is if this Treads is Adamant, Scarf, Supercell Slam, and high rolls the Supercell Slam in my Keldeo. It's not like a super high roll to kill, but if he is Adamant, the chance is there. So, not wanting to risk that, I'm just going to swap into my Sableye. This is going to stop everything he could do. As we're going to come on a spin, as I'm just going to fire for Willow here. We're going to miss the Willow and the Dio, but I should have a free Keldeo as, like, at this point, T-Wave isn't scaring me or anything. He's going to go for a knockoff, get rid of our specs. And Squillfish is going to come out. We're going to pick up a kill on this guy with a Surf. and then we're gonna see Treads come out. And now again here, I'm in a very strong spot. Like, I'm not worried about losing at this point. The only way I'd lose is if he's like Pashberry Treads, and I surf into the Pasho, I lose my Keldeo, and then I miss a million Willows with Sableye and lose. Um, so I'm just gonna flip turn out, pop a potential Pasho. That's when I'm gonna go into Clef, and now here, if he wants to kill me, he won't get a speed boost, it would be Keldeo. If he spins, he can't KO my Keldeo, so I'm just gonna throw an Aegis up in the air. Keldeo's gonna come out, and then we're gonna get 2 more kills here with Surfs. So we're gonna become a nice 3-0 win week 1. We're gonna get all 6 kills with Keldeo. Very good start to the season. I was happy with this game. I don't think there were too many misplays. I definitely played, like, I won't say overly safe, because Um, like, there still was, I think, like, technicality of lose con, like, still, like, during this turn. Um, I had so much, like, extra as well. I had a full health G King that could come out on, Dio and Coolfish, so I tried to play safe, make sure I minimize, like, the diff I could lose from RNG. We're also gonna pick up 6 Keldeo kills in the process, and we're gonna be moving on to week 2 as 1-0. Okay, what's going on, everybody? We're back for the week 2 battle here. Week 2, we were playing Aurora Draco. Aura's team consists of Palafin, Teratelodon, Pelipper, Terra Espathra, Glamora, Ursaluna, Mimikyu, and Clankelder. I thought really everything could come this week. I don't think it was like last week where there was no Chinchino like at all. Everything could come, and I think I saw everything in mocks. Uh, Terra Espathra is definitely the more scary Terra Captain. I do think it is pretty bad, but you know, there is always the sweet possibility. So kicking off our team, we have Max Gloking with Yawn and Chili Reception. This is always our swap into Espathra. If needed, we can also pair Chili Reception and Encore Sableye. Um, so we are hopefully gonna be able to use that to keep him like locked down. Next up we got uh Cinderace with Boots. We're running a really bulky Cinder set. We have enough speed to where we hit the threshold that we are OHKOing no speed invest, or it's like very little speed invest Pelipper with an Electro Ball. And then Max Spinef and the 28 HP gives you the best chance to live mod speed gem from Glamora. Now this set, it's just like, it's just kind of like there. We we didn't really need like a specific sixth. I had Lando for a bit, but Lando felt like really bad here. It's not good for Palafin. It's not great for Arch. It's not good for Pelly. Doesn't help for Espathra at all. And then Ursaluna, it doesn't do much for either. So, go Orlando, put this in. Helped into some lines off lead as well. Speaking of lead, we got Keldeo, our lead again. We are running Specs Terra Water again. We have Max Pack. We are up down to the Espathra. And then we have the rest of the defense to be able to live, or it's not to live, to be able to take jet punches easier from Palfin. Surf, or Sphere, Flip Turn, Hydro Pump. Surf, just because, or Terra Water into a rain team. Or Sphere just to hit Pelipper, or to hit Arch harder than Secret Sword. Pump is there because off lead, I can just pump Arch and Oko, potentially. Um, and then we have flip turn to pivot out. So if we lead into a Glamora, I will be flip turning out into Cinderace. And if he sets hazards, I can core change. I can Scorching Sands, whatever. Next up, we got a Clefable. Clefable's kind of like a glue piece here. We are a really, really fast Clefable. So Moonblast and Feeble are very strong in this team. With just Psychic for the Glamora. And I don't think anything on the team is gonna be super fast. So this Clef is like we're creeping a Mimikyu plus, like, no speed Mimikyu plus a couple points. So we're super fast Clef. We have enough Spidef to live an Arch, Aludon, Flash Cannon from full. And then for the rest of this stack, he doesn't have many switch into this. This is able to cause like a good bit of commotion and damage throughout the game. Next up, we got full Fizdef, Hydrapple with Helmet, Terra Water if I need to pop it, Giga Drain, Fickle, Nasty Plot, and Earth Power. Running no speed to underspeed Ursaluna in case they set Trick Room. This thing's kind of just here to pivot. You know, can pivot into Ursa, can pivot into Kong, can pivot into Palafin, stuff like that. And last up, we got Sableye, Arcing Air Balloon, to be able to swap into Ursaluna, cover both stabs. Which full Fizdef, we have Reflect, Encore, Knock, and Recover. That is going to be it for the team. I will see you all in the replay. Okay, we are here for the replay against Oro Draco. We're going to see that they elected to bench the Conk and the Glamora. Pretty happy they benched the Glamora, just makes my lines off lead a lot smoother. Lets me able to use Cinderace however I want. I'll need to see it for core change. For that, let's get into the battle. So we're going to load up turn 1 here. We're going to lead into the Palafin. It's what I expected. And then we're going to see that they are Terra Dragon on their Espathra and Terra Water on their Archaludon. So turn 1, I'm just going to go for a Water Spec Surf, as Palafin doesn't really offend me with anything in baby form, as Palafin's going to come out and just get OHKO'd. So that's a great start for us. Next, he's gonna go into Archaludon. Because I don't really thin this thing from full, I'm gonna go Hard Cinder. And here I get the Scorching Sands, and if he elects to go for another Electroshot, we're gonna be able to get double chip off. Now, that Scorching Sands revealed that he was AV, so we will need the second one to put him in range of what's it called? Surf from our Keldeo. After that second Scorching Sands come off, we're going to be able to go into our Keldeo, and we're going to be able just to pick up KO here. But they're going to like to go into Mimikyu, and then they're going to end up being Red Carry Mimikyu. But that just means they don't have swap in for Keldeo anymore. As Ursaluna's going to come out as I go hard Clef, I'm going to go hard back out into Sableye, as they're going to go for the Headlong. We're going to go for a knockoff carry to the item, as they're going to real Pasho. So, potentially could have lived a hit from Keldeo. We're going to see Ice Punch come out, get the freeze, but we're just the luckiest people ever. We're going to get first turn Thaw, Reflect up on the Headlong coming out, get our Recover up. We're going to see Sub come out here, but because of the Headlong defense drop, we are just going to be able to knock off twice and pop their Sub. So they're going to chip us down, but we aren't, like, it doesn't really scare us that much. We're going to Encore as they go hard Mimikyu, so good play by them. As I'm going to go hard Clef, as I'm expecting just to outspeed this guy, but they're going to be faster and they're just going to OHKO me with Play Rough. But that just means Keldeo gets in, I get to pick another KO. They're going to go hard Espathra here, as I could just go hard Gloking. They're going to protect, as I'm just going to be able to yawn as they reveal Lumina Crash, you know, saying I don't have Sword Power. So here I'm expecting their moveset to be Lumina Crash, Calm Mind, Protect, and D-Gleam for the Sableye. So I'm just going to chill it out. Palafin's going to come in. Now here I go Hydrapple. And now I know this thing's going to have Ice Punch. Spoiler, it did have Ice Punch. But going Hydrapple here just meant if they are Ice Punch, if they're not banded, they're not going to KO me. They have to be banned to KO the Hydrapple. And in the event they are banned, that's just a kill. Like a killer which comes out and they get to kill something. It's most likely going to be the Arch. But every time Keldeo gets in, he's getting a kill. So I was fine making this play. And ended up paying off because they weren't banded, so we got to do a bunch of damage to this Palafin. Now here, I don't want to risk my Hydrapple. I just have a safe put in the Keldeo. They're gonna go hard Espathra. We're just gonna double back out into the Gloking, as they're gonna reveal Protect again. They're gonna go hard Arch on a Yawn, but we take nothing from anything Arch can do, so we're just gonna get a free Chili off here as the Draco. We should regen most of that damage off. As we're just gonna get another Keldeo kill here. They don't have anything that swaps in and lives, and it just gets to claim for free. As Spathra's gonna come back out, I'm gonna go hard Gloking again. They're gonna Lumina Crash on the swap this time, but again, they don't threaten me with a KO here. I get a free on. They don't really have anything else to do, as they're gonna real Shadow Ball as their extra thing. So now I'm thinking they don't Deagleam. I don't think Shadow Ball's their move for Sableye. As I'm just gonna chill here, as I know the Espathra can't go to sleep. Like you just can't afford letting your Espathra go to sleep there. So Keldeo comes out, gets another kill, and here I'm just gonna go hard Sableye on the Luma Crash. They know I'm going G-King. As here I wanted to double out to Keldeo, but doubling out to Keldeo if they weren't if they were like Mental Herb would have been bad. So I'm just gonna hard Hydro Apple. Kinda covered both. As Mimikyu is gonna SD on Earth Power, take another Earth Power, takes a Helmet again. And I'm at this point, I am fully committing to getting Keldeo kills. So I decide instead of letting Mimikyu kill itself to our helmet, I'm going to select Sableye. But they swap out to save the Sableye. As Spath comes out. Now here I should have recovered first. Because I honestly just expected them to be last move Calm Mind. I didn't think you'd be Calm Mindless as Spother here. But in hindsight, like, kinda hindsight, kinda not. I should just Calm Mind there anyway. Or, I should recover there anyway, because if they are Deagleam, then I can Encore them and Deagleam after, and I get the same sequence as I got here, but without having to rely on me getting a roll to live. If they aren't Calm Mind and they're Shadow Ball, I get to set up my Light or my Reflect, and then I still get to hit the Encore, and I get to hit my sequence here. But we're gonna get to live. We get to Encore them in the Deagleam. As now Keldeo just gets to come out, and they're not able to threaten me down quick enough. We just surf here. We do 67, as they're gonna go Mimikyu, sack their Mimikyu to a surf, go back to a Spathra, but the Spathra's not able to KO me with Lumina Crash, so I could just stick in quick surf over and over again, and we're gonna pick up another 3-0 win. Now here at this point, I got 12 kills in 2 games with Keldeo, and at this point I was just fully like Keldeo farming kills. Like from now on, the goal in prep was Keldeo kills. The goal in game was Keldeo kills. I did everything I could to try to get as many Keldeo kills as I could. Yeah, we're gonna pick up another 3-0 wins. That's gonna leave us at 2-0 plus 6 so far in the season. I will see you all for week 3. We're back for week 3. We were playing Kirby. Kirby's team consists of Sneasler, Terra, Landers, and Caranet, Jirachi, Rillaboom, Blastoise, Ceruledge, Terra, Sylveon, and the Dunsparce. So, first look at this matchup. This Landorus destroys me. Like, this dude runs Earth Power, Sludge Wave, Psychic, whatever, and I just can't beat him. I swap like my the plan for this dude is I swap to my Lando, and then I U-turn to my Sableye on the Psychic, and then I Encore to Psychic. Um, yeah. So the team we're bringing is pretty much full Fizz Def, Rocky Helmet, Slowking. This is our check to the Rillaboom. I say check loosely as well. We're not checking him. We're just like swapping in. We're forcing him to take helmet damage. Rocking Sludge Bomb, Chilly Reception, Psychic, and Ice Beam. We are all the notes for, but we have a stack for a certain calc. It's like a Tuco on Sylveon, I want to say something like that. Lando is just max HP, max Def. U-turn, rocks, EQ, taunt. I swap to the Lando. Next up is our Keldeo. We're rocking Terra Poison CM this week. We're rocking lefties with Surf, Terra Blast CM, and Sub. We made sure that non-banded Gorilla won't break our Sub with Glide. So we are able to do pretty well with the Sub up. We can get a few CMs. We can get going with our Scarf, Feeling Wish Clef with Moonblast knockoff Stealth Rock. We are pretty much able to bring out our Keldeo, trade it for 1 or 2 Mons, and then after that we're able to just like I don't want to say we just win. Like we trade for 2 Mons, let's say. Say we trade the Keldeo for the Sylveon, and the Blastoise. And then we Healing Wish up our Keldeo. They don't have another defensive swap to the Keldeo, and at that point, it's really hard for them to stop it. So, Scarf left to make that happen. We are faster than Max Speed Lando. We live a Timid Lorb Sludge from Lando, and then I have the extra in defense. Next up is our lead. We are rocking Eject Pack, Leaf Storm, Fickle Beam, Detail Recover, Hydrapple. We live a Timid Lorb Sludge from Lando. We have the rest in defense. We are lead back to pop it, and then this will be our Sailor swap. And then last we have Helmet, Recover with Sleep Talk, and Encore Sableye. This is our Sneasler swap. We are Helmet to stop it from being a U-turn bot, and we have Sleep Talk in case he Dire Claws me, he sleeps me, I can Sleep Talk, and I can still be useful. So, that's our team. I will see you all in the replay. Alright, we are here for the replay. So, we load up, we see that they decided to bench the Sylveon and the Dunsparce. I'm not too shocked with that. I knew Sylveon could come, but I knew the Dunsparce probably wouldn't. So we are going to lead our Hydrapple here into the Blastoise, and on lead we're going to see that they're Terra Water on both Lando and this Air Ledge. So they really don't want Water Keldeo to sweep them. So Blastoise is going to go for a flip turn 1, as we're going to fire off a Leaf Storm into the Rachi. Now here I'm going to go Keldeo. My thinking here is you're not going to leave your Jirachi in on Keldeo this early in the game. You're gonna be pivoting out into your Blastoise, most likely. So I didn't think there was ever a chance they really stay in and they click something. I feel like if they do click something, it's gonna be like T-Wave. Because if I'm not like super offensive, like kind of like expects it, I don't think you would assume I come in this early. So it's pretty much just like off the fact that I think you're gonna switch, because I don't think you would assume I ever send the set in this early. So we're gonna get our sub up, and then we're gonna get a Calm Mind off. Now we're +1. Now this is pretty tricky for him. Now you can go out into Jirachi, and now here is where I think this is one of my worst played games of the season. And not like horrible plays. I just made way too many like tiny mistakes. So here I Calm Mind. Now this Calm Mind is horrible for 2 reasons. If this is Encore, like I'm just kind of super gooped here. So like I Calm Mind, I get Encore. I Calm Mind again to +3. His Psychic won't break my sub. I Calm Mind again, I'm +4. He breaks it, and then I get T-Waved on my last Calm Mind, and I'm just super goobed. So I should just surfed here, looking back at it. But because of that, because I went for the second Calm Mind, the surf doesn't KO the Jirachi. As T is going to come out, I'm going to go full parried. I'm going to be back at full, so I'm still pretty hard to remove. As I'm going to get the surf off, I'm going to see Rillaboom come out. And now here is where I make misplay number 2 of the game. So I'm looking at it, and if he is banded and he calls my Terra here, I just die. Or it's a good chance for me to die. So I decide that I'm going to hard swap out into my G-King. We're going to see Woodhammer come out. Now, the reason why I think this was a bad play, and I should just Terra and Terra Blast here, is because this Keldeo only got Jirachi. So Blastoise, Rillaboom, Lando, and Sneasler, and Sarah all left. If I don't get any more value out of the Keldeo, my plan has already failed, and it's going to be really hard for me to win this game, as I kind of needed to get at least one more mod with this Keldeo here. Now, not only that, I think it's a really hard click to just click banded ground move here when I have Lando T and a Hydrapple in the back. The only reason I think you'd ever click it is if you're predicting the Terra, or you predict my Heartstop and the G-King. But in both cases, it's almost just better to knock off, because not only is not doing a trillion to Blow King on swap, but it's doing good damage to Terra Keldeo. You're getting on my lefties, meaning later on in the game I am worse at sweeping, but you also cover both the swaps better. So, this should just been staying Terra Blast the Rillaboom, but instead I swap out to the G King. We're gonna take a Wood Hammer. Our take 31 shows that it's not banded. He's gonna take a decent bit of chip, as he's gonna knock off here. Now, like, here's the thing. I chilly reception here, and now I'm back in the Keldeo, except now I'm no longer +2, and I'm in the same situation as earlier, except now I know he's not gonna be banded in Oko, but again, knock comes out. It's still horrible for me, and IT Blast, I don't even kill because he's AV. So, I go from being in this position, if I break through Para, I Oko the Rillaboom, and now my Keldeo are looking at it and it's like, "Okay, this is hard for him to stop." I get a sub up on Blastoise for free, and, like, what does he go into off the after I have a sub up? He's Sairledge, I'm just surfing, I'm forcing a Tera. Lando, I mean, I'm just gonna Sludge Bomb, probably because, or maybe I surf depending on the damage on it and stuff. Sneasler, I'm probably just clicking sub again because you're gonna U-turn to break it, out in the Stoice, and at that point, you are just, like, super cooked. So taking this Rillaboom would have been huge for positioning for this Keldeo, but alas, instead of having 2 Mons down, full G-King, everything at full except for my Keldeo, I my G-King is at 40%, no item. My Keldeo lost his item. Oh, and I have to switch out because now I can't risk the ground move because I died to not banded. So really just a horrible start for me. As I'm gonna go Hydropolis, he's gonna U-turn out into his Lando. And then it's like, okay, well, I'm kind of just picking here. So I'm gonna go out into my Lando on the Sludge Wave. And then I'm gonna hard, or I'm not gonna hard, I'm stupid. I'm gonna take the Psychic, and then I'm gonna U-turn out into my Sableye. Um, and now here, Egg Play. So this turn, um, I'm looking at it, I'm like, okay, this is like screaming I'm Encore. The Lando to pull the Psychic, U-turn out into my Sableye. This is like screaming Encore to me. But like now, you think I don't threaten the Lando Final Court, but nothing really wants to take a knock here. Like Rillaboom isn't gonna take a knock, and you don't even want your Rillaboom to really be in on the Sableye anyway. Sarilege doesn't want to take the knock. Sneasler sure as hell doesn't want to take the knock, and then you're also gonna be sending Sneasler in on the Mon I want to have in on Sneasler. Like you don't want to take the knock Blastoise. You're the most likely Blastoise set here is like AV Fizz Def. If I knock your AV off, then you're looking even worse into a Keldeo that's just clicking buttons now. If I can get the H-Wish off. So I do kind of stand by this play of I'm kind of behind. I need to make some plays to get into the game. But I don't think my play to capitalize on that was the most like secure. I'm gonna hard Jeeking here, try to fire up some regen. As he's gonna Earth Power pick up the KO on my Slowking. Now looking back at it, Farming Regen is great there because I'm able to kind of do help against Sarilege, Sneasler, and Rilla. But I have to farm up like 2 more rounds of Regen to really be able to be in a situation where I can help into those 3 Mons. That would be more useful and make a swap out into a Mon like Lando. Or even if I get it wrong, even if I'm positioned. If I get the swap right and they go Sneasler, Sarilege, Rillaboom, something like that, I'm getting an Intimorph, and then at this point, I'm not taking 2 hits from Lando anyway. So I'm able to just fire off I'm able to get my Rock Step if I want. I can U-turn out. If it's Sneasler, I have my swap in Sableye. If it's Sarilege, I have my swap in Hydrapple. If it's Rillaboom, I can make my swap out into Slowking. So I have a bunch of options here if I pivot out into Lando on the Earth Power. Or if I pivot to Lando on Earth Power, it's not as bad. And it still covers his 3 swaps, whereas Slowking covers the 3 swaps maybe a little better per se. But it's a lot weaker to the Earth Power play that he made. So a little bit of a misplay there. I just kind of stand by it, but you know, it happens sometimes. As I'm gonna have to pull a Psychic here. You turn back into my Sableye, and at this point my Lando's dead to rocks. And now here I'm like, okay, I don't think I can win. I'm just trying to play damage control. Maybe set up a Keldeo win if I can. As I'm trying to Encore, go for a recover. So I go hard clef here. Aceman's gonna come out, predicting the Hydrapple. You're gonna get a knockoff on the Blastoise, and we're gonna remove its AV, which is big for our Keldeo again. Now Lando's gonna go back in. Now I should have to stack my Lando to him. Earth Power's gonna come out. I should go into my Clef. He's gonna Heart Swap out into the Rillaboom. Serum's gonna H-Wish up into my Keldeo. Now, the game is still winnable, for sure. It's just gonna be a lot tougher. So I'm just gonna Terra Blast the Rillaboom here. As Sailage came out. And now here is where I made another misplay in my opinion. So here. So I swapped out because he can Terra Water here, and now I'm in a bad spot. If I stay in whatever. But the thing I didn't think about is if he Terra Waters on my Hydrapple spot, he's in a brutal spot. Sneasler kind of gets clamped by Sableye. His Sailage gets super clamped by my Hydrapple now. And if your Landorus doesn't Terra, then my Keldeo it beats your Lando and your Blastoise pretty easily. So him Terraing the Sailage is just not a play he's able to make. If he does, he's like attack with the Sailage, he has to stay base. So I can just surf here with my Keldeo, and I'm in a pretty good position. But in the moment, I was like, oh, blah blah blah, he's gonna Terra Water. I Terra Blast won't KO Terra Water. I'm gonna swap out. So I'm gonna swap out into Hydrapple. And then Kirby makes a good play of doubling into Sneasler. And if we look at it, if that double out to Sneasler happened on a Surf, I'm in a great spot. Surf comes out into Sneasler. Sneasler doesn't threaten me with anything. I'm able to go out into my Sableye if I wish. I'm able to stay in. I'm able to go for a sub, maybe. I probably sub to take advantage of the grassy terrain while I have it here. So against Sub, you're probably gonna be U-turning in this position. I don't think you just give up your Sneasler there. I think you swap with the Blastoise. So I get a sub as Blastoise comes out, and I can Terra Blast the Stoise. You flip out into something. So I'm in a pretty commanding spot if that happens. Just from the fact that you're never able to do this, I'm able to call it. I get the chip on Sneasler. And then it becomes a lot harder if you win because Hydrapple will always beat this Sailage. If I get rid of Sneasler, I can expend my Sableye against this Lando, and then from there I'm able to use my Keldeo to beat Blastoise and Lando. So I'd just be in a really strong position if I surfed into Sneasler, but because I went out into my Hydrapple, I'm in a really bad position. So Sneasler's gonna come out on the Hydrapple. So I'm just gonna have to go hard Sableye. He's gonna Dire Claw me. And he was gonna pull the poison. So I was like, man, I couldn't even show my tech. Unlucky as he's gonna real pads on the Sableye or on the Sneasler. So I'm just gonna Will-O-Wisp him here. My only potential out here is maybe getting Keldeo in on Sneasler and getting a sub up now that he's burned. That's gonna be really hard to maneuver into now as I can't threaten Lando at all. So he's just gonna be able to Terra Water and wall my Keldeo. Now here, Sludge Wave comes out. Now, I was trying to get Encore, but he's never gonna let that happen. He's just gonna go hard Sneasler here. So I'm just gonna recover up on the sneeze. Try to get as much back as I can. As Leon's here, come back out, I'm gonna wisp him. And at this point it is I can't win. As for the damage control. So Keldeo comes out. And then here I'm just gonna sub to weaken the Lando. I get him low enough to where I can Terra Blast him. I get one more kill with Keldeo. So we're gonna take a 3-0 loss week 3, unfortunately. But looking at, I think in a playoff rematch we could for sure win this. Considering there's definitely some improvements I could have done with prep. It really wasn't the greatest. I think not having a Cinder was definitely not the greatest call. It made Lando so much harder to deal with. I didn't think with the Terra Water defensively how tough it would be for me. But besides that, that Lando was the thing that really caused most of the problems. It killed our Lando, killed the Slowking, killed the Chapel, killed the Sableye. It forced Clefable to come out and healing mission my Keldeo, so it pretty much killed Clefable as well. So if you're looking at Lando, and Lando forced all the subs on Keldeo, so Lando really was the one that killed everything here. Um, so if in a playoff rematch, I would make my build better in the Lando, make it remove it easier. I think it's to be able to keep enough pieces to where I can threaten everything else as well. But not a horrible game, just not my greatest. Anyway, I will see you all for week 4 here. Alright, we are back for our week 4 matchup. So, week 4, we are playing Kaz, probably the best player, not probably, the best player in the league, and in my opinion, the best team in the league. So, we're gonna have our work cut out for us this week for sure. Kaz's team consists of Darkrai, Iron Hands, Crocodile, Marina, Ogerpon, Teal, Terra, Necrozma, Terra Regidrago, and Terra Orthworm. Now, this team is terrifying. Um, it was really hard to come up with something that I thought was consistent, as Keldeo was like the main focal point of the team throughout the season, and it really is my main offense. Especially in a matchup like this where offensive Lando isn't the greatest and offensive Cinder isn't the greatest. I really have to rely on like Terra Keldeo, but Terra Keldeo isn't the greatest into like Crim Necro. Like that's gonna be really hardcore for me to break with the two of them, as well as Ogerpon Teal being faster has coverage for like all of the likely Terras. Darkrai being there, AV hands, stuff like that, which is a pretty unlucky Keldeo matchup. This is gonna be really tough to figure something out, but I came to a pace that I really like, or really liked for the most part. So first one we have is Policy Lead Trick Room Gloking. With Sludge Wave, Psychic, Focus Blast, and Trick Room. We live a Specs Dark Pulse from Darkrai, we Oko back with Focus Blast. We live any hit from Bandit Ogre, we Oko back with a Sludge. We live Adamant EQ, Free Crook, whatever we kill with Focus Blast, and then we Oko Max with Hands Up +2 with the Psychic. This set is just to lead and take a kill, as something with it's not specifically with Kaz, but with like players like Kaz is when you're, at least for like from my experience, when you're playing someone better than you, the first thing you want to do is you want to limit as many resources as they have in the game. If I can take, if I can in this matchup, if I can build a Gloking and I can build a Lando that will like both guaranteed trade 1-for-1. I'm reducing the game to a 4v4 now. Now, if I can kind of tweak it to whereas this Lando will always trade with his hands, then something like grass Keldeo starts looking a lot better without hands being annoying for that. If Gloking can consistently trade with the Necro and my Lando can consistently trade with the Prima, well, now you don't really have anything for water Keldeo, you don't really have anything for fighting Keldeo. That opens up both sides. Um, so that was kind of my idea going into it. How this G can guarantee trade with something, and even if I'm only reducing it to a 5v5, um, at worst 5v5 if I play it right, um, I can set up my Keldeo a lot better by just reducing what he has to play with. So that's what the idea behind the Glow. Next up, we should have a Lando EQ Focus Blast U-turn and Taunt. Fast bulky Lando. We are creeping like Jolly Drago, something like that. Maybe or Adamant, maybe went to Jolly. I can't remember. I don't remember what the bulk is. I don't have it here. I have the old Lando set, fortunately. Um, our Cinder, we have a very bulky Cinder. We crept down to base pawn in case he decides to stay the Drago instead. And we're very bulky, so we can live 2 Dark Pulses or a +2 Dark Pulse from Darkrai. As besides Center, it's pretty scary to deal with like a Chople Darkrai. The set I assumed Darkrai was gonna be here was Chople with like Plot, Dark Pulse, Beam, and Sludge Bomb. And he could kind of run like a setup spam set or a set spam team to get through Fable, and then after that I have like no counterplay to that Darkrai. So I really like the bulky Cinder here. Next up, the star of the show, the Keldeo. Rocking Black Bolt, Terra Fighting with Pump, Secret Sword, Vac, and Flip. Max Pack Modest. We're just creeping the Crook, rest in HP. We're Pump over Surf because like Secret Sword is just like a better click into everything besides Necro, and Necro you kind of need the Pump to really make like Surf isn't strong enough. I need Pump to get through the Necro. Uh, Next up we got Clefable. Rocking a mixed bulk Clef. It's there to just like stop Drago and stop Darkrai from sweeping. Healing Wish, Nightshade, Encore, Moonlight. A really weird moveset, but I kept losing to like Poison Sub, Drago and Mox. So if I can Encore him into like Sub, and then Nightshade it won't consistently break it, but it'll consistently Tuco. And if I'm able to just like stop him from getting infinite DDs, then we're gonna be able to work with that. And I have Moonlight just because it needs to deal with multiple mons, so I need recovery. And then Atrish for the Keldeo, of course. Next up is our very Fizdef to our Poison Hydrapple with Helmet. Clocking Leaf Storm, Pickle Beam, Giga Drain, and Recover. We live like a Darkrai Sludge, something like that. Maybe it was like from Moonblast. We're very Fizdef with a little bit of spec for specific calc. Forget what that was, but yeah, this is the team we're working with. The plan is just to trade someone with Gloking, and then if it's Necrozma, then there's nothing for the Keldeo. There's nothing in swapping to Keldeo, and the Keldeo just claims every time it hits the field. And like with Lando's U-turn, with Cinderace's U-turn, it's pretty easy to get Keldeo in a position where I can just click a button and do big damage. So that's the team. I will see you all in the replay. Alright, we're here with game 4 against Khaz. So we load up and we're gonna see he benched the Orthworm and the the Crocodile. So no Croc, no Orthworm. Plan's the same. We are leading our Gloking. We're gonna load up. We're gonna see Steel Drago, and then obviously the grass on the Ogerpon. We're gonna see Hands lead, and here in Trick Room, now this was kind of a goof play because if Hands is attacking me, it's gonna EQ, and I can just Psychic and kill him right away, and then I get my trade off, and that's all. That's all I needed from him. Trick Room was just not really necessary. Off into Hands lead. That just kind of whatever. So he's gonna go Necro. He's gonna reveal very bulky Necro as he's gonna rock. And out here, I'm like, okay, we're not getting anything with this. I'm just gonna stall out some healing, and then I'm going to go Lando on a turn where I feel like it's more likely for him to heal than it is for him not to. So we're gonna eat this Photon this turn. Fire one more Sludge Wave. Now here, I feel like he's low enough where you don't want to take the KO on Gloking at the moment, because then you're opened up to getting revenge easily. So we're going to pivot out Lendo. Now here I should just EQ'd, but I U-turned out expecting him to swap. So I'm forced back out in the Gloking. I'm going to take another Photon, but I want to give up my Gloking here. So I'm just going to go back out into my Lendo. We're going to take a knockoff. We're going to EQ him here. He's going to show that he's Moonlighting up, so we're going to be able to taunt him. Now we're just going to be able to EQ him down twice, pick up the KO. But unfortunately, we traded pretty much all of our Gloking, pretty much all of our Lando and rocks here. He's gonna call mine with a Darkrai as I'm going to U-turn. As I U-turn as I didn't want to give him a free plot here. So it's better for me to U-turn and give up my Lando. In this game state rather than swapping out something, giving up a free plot. And then just like praying my Clef can deal with it, or playing my Cinder doesn't get flinched. So just going for the U-turn here. I was gonna see Policy Pop on a CM, but since he's not choppable, I know that I KO at this range with Vacuum Wave, so I'm just gonna go hard killed. Terravac, pick up the KO on the Darkrai. As Hands is gonna come out. Now I just need flip damage on this constantly. We're going to sack our lands with this guy as the attack drop from Intim means that my Keldeo can just come in and we can get another attack off. So Frem's gonna be his swap. He's gonna take half from Secret Sword as we're gonna flip out. That's gonna chip him down into range of another Secret Sword as he's gonna flip out from on the G King out back in the hands as I'm gonna Heart Cinder here. As we live the EQ, we're just gonna throw off a Super Fang. We're gonna get the Reggie Draco on the swap. We're gonna hit him for half. We're gonna die helmet. But this is for the Keldeo entry, as we're just gonna Secret Sword the Prim here. We're just gonna go hard Hydrapple as the Ogerpon comes out. He's gonna go for an SD. Or Cudgel, he's gonna go for a Cudgel here. And he's gonna SD this turn. We're gonna Frickle Beam. We're gonna pull him all out. We're gonna do 77, as that means that he's now in what's called he's vacuum wave range. As he's gonna Cudgel my G-King. I feel like he couldn't fit synth, so that was fine sack to make. As we're reaching a Keldeo, Vac's gonna 2-ko this Regijago. And now I just have to get this hands in range of the Ogerpon. Or in the range of the Keldeo. As the Ogerpon is permanent range of Vacuum Wave. So we're gonna take a CC with hands. We're gonna take an Ice Punch. That's gonna be 2 rounds of helmet on him. As here, I'm just gonna be able to go for the Secret Sword, hit the pawn, as hands can come out here. Just gonna be able to flip on the hands. We're gonna get our Clef in. We're just gonna sack this guy. CC's gonna come out, just meaning we guaranteed KO with Secret Sword. If not, what could have been a roll. He's gonna have slam, and Kelly's gonna come back out to get another. So we're gonna pick up a nice 1-0 win here against Khaz. Got a little lucky with the all out on this turn here, turn 23. I do think I was in a fine position to win without it. It just would have been a lot harder of a game. So it would have been Fickle Beam. I do 38 instead of 77. So he's gonna be 38 higher, meaning he's gonna be at 60%. My held vac does like 40-ish. So from here, I probably would sack G King this turn still, and then I'd probably go Clef and Nightshade him, put him down into Keldeo range, vac this guy twice. Hands comes out. I flip out into my Hydrapple. So I don't think it would have been too different. It just would have been right here. I just have to hit a Hydro is all it would have came down to, I think. But got a little lucky. Didn't have to do that. You know what to say. Would rather be lucky than skilled. But we're gonna pick up a not nice. We're gonna pick up a 1-0 win against Khaz here. It's gonna put us to 3-1 on the season, and now +4 diff. We're in a pretty good spot going into halfway through the season. 3, 4, 5 was definitely my hardest 3 weeks, so I was happy to come out of those 3 at the worst 2-1, which was my goal going into it. Anyway, we'll move on to the week 5 matchup here. Right, we are here for week 5. We are facing OG Albina this week. Now, I wanna preface this by saying this was probably like one of the worst prepped and played games of the or this was by far the worst prepped and played game of the entire season. Probably one of my like worst ever. So like some context for it. Um, the week me and Kaz played was the Easter week, so we couldn't end up playing on the weekend. Just both of us being busy. I was busy Monday. He was busy Tuesday. He we scheduled for Wednesday, but then we had to push back because he didn't like have enough time to like get his prep in before our game Wednesday. So we played Thursday instead. And like every second I had 4 mons leading up to that game from the Sunday of week 3 when I played right after I played Kirby to the Thursday of week 5 when I played Kaz was only looking at that matchup. And I played Owen Sunday, or not Sunday, Saturday at like noon. So for me, that's like right when I'm yeah. Um, so I didn't have I didn't have like a lot of time to put into this. Just due to the fact I prioritized the Cavs matchup, and due to that, I ended up having a pretty sloppy build. So we should have full SPDF G-King. Suppose we should look at his team first. His team consists of Moon, Ting, Terramoth, Petulant, Mesprit, Caramanphy, Zapdos, Galar, and Dashbun. Now my team just gets destroyed by Terra Moth. Like, it is super cooked. So we have full spec Slowking, as we're not able to switch into Specs Fire Moth. But if he's not Specs, we got that shit. We got that guy on clamps. Rocking with Chill Reception with T-Wave, Psychic, Sludge Bomb. Next up, we got full Fizz-Def Landos, our Moon Pivot. We got full Fizz-Def with EQ, Stealth Rock, U-Turn, Taunt with Helmet. Next up, we got a bulky Cinder with U-Turn, Zen, Quick Attack, and Pyro. We live like 2 Shadow Balls from Petulant or something. I forget the calc exactly. Next up, we got Keldeo. We are creeping down to the Gyapdos. And we have optimal leftovers number with HP and enough SPDF. So at +1, mess with Psychic, won't break our sub. And then we have rest into Spatak. Next up, we got full Fizz-Def Clefable. This is to deal with like Zapdos and Moon together. Rocking Magikarp lefties, Moonlight, T-Wave, Stealth Rock, H-Wish. And then we have full Fizz-Def Sableye with Helmet, Light Screen, Recover, Knock, and D-Gleam to be our Zapdos swap. If they try to go Moon, because, Dark type, immune to Prankster, we can just D-Gleam that dude. So, pretty epic. Yeah, that's gonna be it for this build. Like I said, it wasn't a great build. It was pretty sloppy of me. I didn't put that much effort into it. Yeah, that's gonna be it for the pace. I'll see you all in the replay. All right, we are here for the replay against Mr. OG Albina. So on preview, we're gonna see that there is no moth in sight. That's super good for me. Now we'll get into it. So we're gonna see these Terraferra Manaphy. As you can see, Gyapdos lead, and now here I'm gonna swap out into my Sableye. Well, I consider this was a misplay, as we are gonna show Terra Water Keldeo, and leading Water Keldeo kind of screams, "Hey, I'm Specs," and Gyapdos doesn't Oko me if I Terra, unless he's banded. But if he's banded, he'd be slower. And if I'm Specs, I just Oko this Gyapdos. So Gyapdos can never actually stay in here. Gyapdos is always forced out. So this is just a free Terra Water Surf and then Mesprit, if I so please. So that was a misplay on my end. I shouldn't have swapped out turn 1. 1 turn in, I've already made a misplay. Booyah. We're going to Sableye, but Mesprit can come up. I'm going to go Hard Lando. He's going to get his rocks up. I'm going to get my rocks up. As we see, U-turn. Get a little bit of helmet chip on Mesprit. That is awesome. Man, if he's going to come out. And out here, I'm going to have a stroke. So, first pivot, out into G-King. We're going to see Take Care. He's going to go for the Skull to prevent Chilly Reception into Sableye. But I'm a stupid idiot, and I forgot to Take Care gets rid of Para. So I'm going to T-Wave him. As he's going to Take Care, get rid of the Para. As I'm going to go Cinder. I'm like, alright, I got a Para flinch this guy down. So Zen Headbutt 1. You're like 30. We don't get a flinch. Unlucky. We're going to go for Zen Headbutt number 2. We are going to get a flinch here. We're goaded. Zen Headbutt number 3. No flinch. Unlucky. Now, at this time, I'm thinking, damn, only 1 out of 3 Para flinches? That's unlucky, man. I did not realize he was not anymore. And that's going to be showcased when I go into my Lando. And I just donate him my Lando. Because I forgot they got rid of paralysis. So I'm gonna have to go Sableye here. I'm gonna lay screen as a learning voice comes out. I'm like, alright, we're gonna go for whatever I think is knockoff there, whatever attack I have. As Keldeo's gonna come out. I'm like, alright, we got to get a little lucky here. As I'm going to Calm Mind. And I'm just gonna hit dirt. I'm gonna Secret Sword. I had to bank on him not tearing there. and then Moon comes out, and because I'm pretty bulky, I'm like, okay, I can take this knock, I can get rid of Moon if I get hit through, and that's gonna be big for potentially winning now, like after this is gone. So Gyarados is gonna come out, and I'm like, okay, this is Super Scarf, as I'm gonna go Clef. Braybird's gonna come out, barely doesn't Tuco. We're gonna get lefties. Now here, I'm just forced to H-Wish into my Keld, and I'm like, okay, well, to win, it's pretty unlikely, but I need this guy to Mulligan Chain, not parent poison me. I then have to sub, have it not break my sub, and then I need this guy to not be Encore, which is how it has to go. So Keldeo comes in, I go for the CM. No Meg Chain poison. That's step 1. We're gonna Heart Swap out in the Mesper here, or he's gonna Heart Swap in the Mesper as I'm gonna get my sub up. Now I should him to not be like Encore here, I'm thinking. Doesn't matter if he lives that, but then he's Psyshock. So I'm like, oh, unlucky. That's just that's just raps. If it wasn't Psyshock, if he was Psychic, I think Keldeo would have won, but we're not gonna have this guy bringing Psychic over Psyshock. He's not that stupid. So he's or Juking just gonna lose this endgame. And we're gonna pick up a very, very poorly played Empress 3-0. That's gonna move us to 3-2 at +1 diff, I believe. So yeah, not what we wanted week 5, but I got out of my 3-week stretch 2-1. That's what I wanted. Yeah, I will see you all for week 6 here. All right, we are back for week 6 here. This week we're playing Fat Halpert. Halpert's team consists of Great Tusk, Terra Mence, Heatran, Terra Gengar, Weavile, Milotic, Rotom-Mow, and Corviknight. Now, Weavile is a big problem into me. It pretty much claims one, like every time it's in, and then forces back Kill to revenge it. But with he doesn't have to run boots because Tusk is able to clear rocks fairly consistently. And so you can just run Tropical, and that point you can just take out my Keldeo. So it's pretty down bad. I can't lie. So I'm actually being forced to bring Registeel here. So the team I have is full Spiff, Slowking Galler. Because Heatran is like one of the main guys I want to get my Keldeo going against. And I need to pivot in through Gloking for that. Because he's just gonna Magma Storm. If I can't go hard Keldeo on Magma Storm because it's gonna do too much passively. So I have to go hard Gloking. But I can't be like boots or lefties because then I just get taunted and I lose my Gloking. So I have to be E button Gloking here to pivot in on the Heatran. We have Chili Substance, Cyanoids, Surf, and T-Wave. Cyanoids is just for the Milo. If I find myself in a position where I need to Psywave and Chili, whatever. Surf for the Heatran in case I find where I need to actually hit him, and then T-Wave for a generally good click. Next up is our Lando G. We are also running Eject Button on this guy. We are just strapped down the Tusk. We have max HP with some defense, Stealth Rock, Grass Knot, U-Turn, Taunt. This guy's just a pivot, getting into my Mence, Instants on Tusk, Set Rocks, all that jazz. Next up is Cinder. We have Pyro, U-Turn, Super Fang, Taunt with Boots. We have a Banded Knock from Weave. We're equipped in the Gengar, and then we live max modest Shadow Balls most of the time, like 2 of them from Gengar. If you use Scarf. Next up is our Wincon. We have Sub CM Terra Water Keldeo with Secret Sword Surf CM and Sub. We are just equipped on the Mence. We have optimal HP, and I'm gonna rest in the Spef. Then we have Fable. We have lefties Magic. I meant to make this unaware, but I forgot for the battle. We live max Moss Sludgery from Gengar, or the rest in the defense, with Rocks, T-Wave, Healing Wish, and Moonblast. And then last up we got Registeel Helmet, Rocks, T-Wave, EQ, Heavy Slam, 2 Focus Blast from Gengar, or a +2. The rest is into defense. So that is it for the team breakdown. We'll hop into the replay here. All right, here we are with the replay. So on loadup, we're gonna see the benched Corv and the Weavile, which is great for me. And we're gonna stick to our plan. We're gonna lead our Orlando here. As we're gonna load up, we're gonna see Terra Dark on Gengar and Mence. So we're gonna see lead. We're gonna see Eject Pack Rotomo out into Gengar as he's gonna sub on the switch traditional. Here I'm shooting Heavy Slam, Gengar. We're gonna see the Bloom Pop. And now I'm just gonna do this guy. I'm gonna make it so my Keldeo can revenge. And now my Keldeo can revenge this guy. I'm just gonna set my rocks here. That didn't get punished at all. By like sub or anything. So I was fine with it. Now Keldeo comes out. Keldeo can just pick a kill. We're gonna go to Gengar. Trade Rage Shield for Gengar. Pretty nice value. As the Rotom is gonna come out, we're gonna make a pivot out into our Cinder on the Leaf Storm. Now here, I kinda make a goof play. I didn't make a goof play. Default. I went for Super Fang. And then we're just able to U-turn out into our Gloking here. We're gonna take the Magnum Storm, pop our E button, get out into the Keldeo. Secret Sword the Heatran, cover the Rotom and Milo swap. As Rotom's gonna come out again, I'm gonna go hard Cinder. Now, this is the turn I goofed with Cinder, I was thinking of. So I already showed that I'm going Cinder on this guy, so that has no reason to Volt Switch expecting Lando. So that was my time to go Lando and deny the Volt, but I kinda just autopiloted Grr, I gotta go Cinder on this guy. Yeah, Tusk comes in. I said Tusk, Taunt Tusk, I don't wanna give up like a bulk up or anything. Let rocks as he's gonna spin. I'm showing hard out into my Lando. We're gonna attack drop as he's gonna spin again. It's gonna pop our eject button. We're gonna get out into our Keldeo. Now here I'm gonna make a double out into our Lando. We're gonna catch the Mence. So I'm gonna be able to taunt his DD here. I was pretty confident he'd be adamant Mence, so that's fine with that. I'm gonna go hard Milo or hard Clef as Milo comes out. So I'm gonna set up rocks as he flips here. Tusk is gonna come back out. She can go pivot back out into my Lando. We're gonna get Intim. He's gonna spin. Get rid of the rocks and Ice Bear. We're gonna chew. We're gonna U-turn out into our Keldeo. Now, here, I'm gonna go for a Calm Mind. Probably better, in this to just get a Surf out. Chip things down if he wants to go Men's. I do quite a bit with a Surf. Milo, I can sub CM on. I can win with this guy, or in front of this guy. And Surf just auto-threatens this Tusk. So I probably should just Surfed here. But I see him, and here I should have subbed because with my boost, the only thing that would break it is Volt Switch or Leaf Storm. Volt Switch, you're going into Mence, Milo, or Tusk, and none of them actually like really threaten this Keldeo at all. So I'm fine with that. If you Leaf Storm, I just get the sub next turn, and eventually you're not gonna break my sub with your Rotom. So this turn 1000% should have been a sub, but I sugar sorted like a buffoon, and he's gonna get the pair off. So now I should try to get Volt Switch off into my guy. Volt Switch comes out, just about half, as I'm gonna Surf into the Mence. Now here, I'm like, okay, you're gonna DD in my face. I'm gonna fire for another Surf. We're gonna do very good damage to this Mence, as I'm just gonna sack my Lando here. Just kind of neutralize his Moxie. So I'm gonna go Clef. Now here, I really wanted to T-Wave this turn. Because if he attacks, I can DD, or if he attacks on my T-Wave, I can Healing Wish on DD into my Keldeo, and then I'm super winning. But T-Waving on DD is just horrible. So I'm for Moonblast. As Tusk is gonna come out. Now here is where I make the final goof of the game. That should always just be Healing Wish into my Keldeo, and then he picks 3. Nothing you can do here. Tusk won't Oko me. It's just Healing Wish. Whatever, I kill Tusk, I kill Mo, I kill Marlo. So that's what the play should have been. He's gonna spin. I'm gonna go for Moonblast. He's gonna reveal super bulky policy. And I forgot to swap this guy on the line. So I'm just gonna drop 2 +2 slam. And then Tusk is gonna clean up. So unlucky loss, week 6. Made few tiny mistakes that didn't cost me too much, but then I made one big one with Clef there that was just game ending. I'm not too upset about the whole game. Upset with that play. I don't know why I didn't heal English. Uh, the men's turn. This one here. I was like, okay, I gotta lock in. I gotta make sure not to make a bad play trying to farm Keldeo kills. Um, and then I guess when I was out of that mindset, trying to think of not doing stuff like that, and then that ended up causing me to not healing Rush my Keldeo, which was the winning sequence there, Atrish into Keldeo. But instead I Moonblasted, and then I paid the price for losing. Um, yeah, we'll be back for week 7 though. Don't worry. All right, we are here for week 7. Week 7 we were playing Bick. Really want to get this win. Getting this win would make the Pats playoff a lot easier. We can make it by losing and winning, but it's a lot easier to make playoffs by winning this game and being able to see how my week A has to go, and I can just if I have to control the diff, I can play for controlling the diff instead of needing to win. Um, Big's team consists of Terra Raging Bolt, Iron Bundle, Ogre Blunt Cornerstone, Blaziken, Enamorous, Irian Terra, Tyranitar, Exegil, and Thwacky. I don't think the Thwacky ever comes here. Everything else I think could come. So for that, um, we are just max looking for the Bolt, Yawn, Chili, Sludge Bomb, Ice Beam. Just yawn the guy, same thing we do for a spot throw. Then we have max Lando for the drill and corner pawn with rocks U-turn, EQ rock slide. I didn't need the damage boost from Stone Edge. It was still 2 cone to Enam, I believe. So it's from rock slide over Stone Edge. Next up is our Keldeo. We are rocking E-Bolt Terra Ice with Surf, Vacuum Wave, Terra Blast, and Secret Sword. We have max defense, actually makes it so we live a Lorb, Admin, Blaze, close combat when we're not Terran. Now we're crept down to Drill, rest in the stack. Next up, we got full Spidef, Unaware Clef for the Bolt, Healing Wish, Moonlight, Flamethrower, Moonblast. We have full Fizdef E-Pack Apple with Leaf Storm, Gig Drain, Fickle Beam, Recover. We are Leaf Storm E-Pack because we can Leaf Storm, and then we can E-Pack into the Keldeo for some more kills, And we got Sableye rocking dual screens, Encore, Recover. We have no Spidef for a T-Bolt from Frodo's Pack Bolt. And we have the rest in the defense. So pretty simple team this week. It's another team that's like fully focused around Keldeo getting kills. But this set is very strong in the matchup. With Evolt, pretty much everything's an OCO or 2-co, like at worst. Bolt's like the only thing that isn't, but I'm pretty geared up in the Bolt. So yeah, I will see you all in the battle. Alright, what's going on? We are back for our week 7 video here. We're gonna say he benched the Enam and the Thwacky. So nothing too insane. Pretty much what I predicted. So we're just going to follow our plan here. We're gonna get our quadruple lead. Let's tear Fairy on his Bolt. So lead bundle. We're just gonna go Gloaking on that. The Blaziken comes out, and I'm like, okay, we can go Sableye if he's not Lord, we live. Wait. It's like, yo, this is Ben and Blaziken, and it low-key 6-0s me. Yo, what'd I do to this Blaziken, man? So let's go Keldeo. Dude, I would take so much from a Flare Blitz too, like even there. So Secret Sword, a Bolt comes out. Takes a decent bit from the Secret Sword. Using our T-Tire on the Gloaking. We're gonna yawn him. Now I'm like, okay, he's gonna go for rocks here. We're just gonna go hard Lando. We're gonna rock shade if he wants to go to sleep. But then we see knockoff, so we're gonna lose our lefties. I'm like, damn, I bet I can go Keldeo. Holy. Rocks up. Now let's go our G King. We're gonna take a freeze drive. We spit on that. So he's gonna go for a U-turn, confirming that he's not choiced. Probably Boots or Tropple. As we're gonna Chili as the Jill comes in. And I go Keldeo. Now here, Oh my god. The options are AV, Pasho, and Choppel here. You can be any of the three. So Surf hits into two of those, Secret Sword hits into one of them. But then I'm stupid and I Surf, and then he ends up being AV. So, I don't know. I guess I'm just dumb. But I get the back off. As Bolt comes in. Just go hard G-King here. He's gonna double own the Blaziken. And now I'm literally just sacking my Hydro Apple. Like, I don't have a switch to this thing. This 55 to my Apple. Like, dude, that's insane damage. This guy's like full for his death. So we're gonna end up losing our Hydro Apple there. Skelly's gonna come out. I believe I vacuum like an idiot. Yep. Bolton. And this dude's scary for me. Like, I have G-King, but I still don't handle it well. There's Calmline's gonna come out. T-Bolt does decent chunk. So I'm gonna go for the Sludge Bomb. Can't yawn him anymore because the T-Tires are asleep. As you can go for the taunt as I try to chili this turn. I'll play good prep and play from him. He's gonna go hard out into my unaware Clef as he's gonna call mine again. T-Bolt's gonna come out, does nothing. Moonblast does also nothing, but slightly more nothing. T-Bolt's coming out. We do a lot with Moonblast again. And now here it's like he has to pick between taunting or attacking. If he picks the wrong one, he's just cooked. So I'm trying Moonlight there. Ogre comes out. I should have free Lando. He's gonna try to encore me. He's gonna U-turn into my Lando. It's gonna give me a free U-turn back. So Bundle's gonna come out. We're gonna get our Glow King in. He's gonna try to pump. We're just gonna Sludge Bomb him. Big damage. He's gonna go for another pump as we're just going to chili out. We're gonna get our Keldeo in. And I don't think you ever give this guy to me with Vac. But there's no reason for me not to click it. I lose nothing. I have good swaps into his Bolt right now. As Caesar's gonna come out, I'm just gonna Secret Sword, pick up the KO. As you're gonna see Raging Pole come back in. As I'm able to go back out in my Glow King, I'm full. T-Blast is gonna come out. Could yawn him here. That risk being taunted. So I'm just gonna go for the Sludge Bomb. He's not Calm Mind up, so it does a lot. And we're gonna end up getting the KO with Sandstorm. Blaziken's gonna come out. And I'm just gonna sack this Glow King. He's pretty much gonna kill himself. He's at 2%. He can't swap into this Vac Wave anymore, so it's just free Keldeo. As Ogrepon comes out, I get my free pivot out in the land, though I can go for a U-turn. I either do a lot of damage to this Ogrepon, or I'm gonna get the kill on the bundle. We're gonna do 50, so that show's fairly bulky, but I should still kill. But then turns out he's like super speed F. But last move with Synth, so I pick up the kill with the Secret Sword. As Clef or as Bundle comes out, and I pick up the Vac KO. Now, looking at this, it was more accurate to just go Clef this turn and say Keldeo. Keldeo gets the kills, but Clef is just a better play. It's more consistent, but luckily he didn't have a grass move to actually KO me. So we picked up a nice 3-0 win against Pick, putting us to 4-3 plus 1, I believe. We've like lost and won every game 3-0 except for one. So it just keeps canceling out. Yeah, I will see you all for the week 8 matchup. We are back for the week 8 matchup. So this week we are taking on Lexi, and the picture for playoffs is winning in, lose, 102-030, and we're also in. So that's kind of just the goal. We're gonna be playing for that. Team we have this week, we have a mixed bulk Slowking with Sugarberry, Healy Reception, Surf, Sludge Bomb, and Flamethrower. I should probably go over Lexi's team as well. Lexi's team consists of Greninja, Gathering Fire, Tinkaton, Terra Iron Boulder, Thunder's Incarnate, Almamola, Terra Mammothswine, and Toad's Crew. Okay, so G-King lives any +2 from Jolly Boulder when they're at +2 after rocks if I have Shuka. And so the rest of the spliff to help for the Thundi. Lando is we're faster than Iron Boulder. We have maxed attack, and then we have the rest of the defense for boulder hits, for potential shard from ammo, if I can live it, whatever. Cinder is just speed to Thundy, max attack, rest in HP. We are Bandit Cinder with Pyro, U-turn, double edge, and quick attack. Double edge is just 2-coing everything not named Tinkaton from the series. Then we have our Keldeo with Terra fighting this week. Specs, Surf, Secret Sword, Vacuum Whip, or Sphere. Max attack, we are sped down to Adamant Mammo +2 and then rest in HP. Very aggro creep with Keldeo. Full Fizz Def Clef for gouging and boulder. Underwear with Boots, Moonblast, Moonlight, Healing Wish, Encore. Then we have Hydrapple with Boots, Terra Water, Giga Drain, Fickle Beam, Nasty Plot, Earth Power. The Modesty Bolt from Thundy. We have Attack, so a +2 and a +0 EP will always KO Max Tinkton. The rest in the defense. This week we are probably tearing the Hydrapple, but it is open. Yeah. That is it for the base. Very quick team this week. I suppose I should do this to show the Hydrapple EVs. Yeah. As if for this breakdown, a very quick one, I will see you all in the battle. Alright, we are here in the battle, and we're going to see that it is a benched Tington and, what is it? Benched Tink and Mammo. That's what it is. So, we're just going to stick to our plan lead of leading our super bulky Keldeo. As we're going to see Thundy, there's going to U-turn here, but we're very bulky, so we're staying in. We're surfing, and we do 44 to Aloe, as they're going to eject Ben out into the boulder. So I'm just going to go hard into the Lando, expecting a Psychic move. As we're going to see Psycho Cut come out. As Aloe's going to come out, as I'm just going to U-turn. And now here, I probably should have just gone out into my Keldeo, as Surf showed it wasn't very bulky, especially bulky Aloe. So Sphere was just killing something here. But I go out into the Apple. We're going to Fickle Beam as Toadstool comes out. They're going to knock off my boots. Not the end of the world. As we're just going to plot up, they're going to Sludge Bomb. We're going to hope for an OP word. As we're going to Fickle Beam, they're barely going to live that. As we're going to take another Sludge Bomb, we're going to Gig Drain our HP back. Boulder now comes out, as I'm going to pivot out into Glow King, as they're going to be Terra Rock. Forgot to mention that in preview. They show they're super banded. As now I'm just going to go into Keldeo. We're going to fire off a Ore Sphere. That's going to do 80% to Aloe. We're going to click it again, as Thundy's going to come out. Then he's going to take 40% from that. Now, I probably, looking back, should have Terra fighting this Keldeo. Because nothing is swapping in if I Terra fighting here. I didn't Terra the Hydrapple yet. Should have Terra fighting. If I don't do it there, I should have for sure done it here, knowing that they're going to switch out, and getting the extra damage boost on the Thundy would have been big. But we're going to go hard into our Cinderace on a Sludge Wave. And here, I'm just firing off my my Double Edge. Now, I looked at this, and I was like, okay, there's not really a reason for you to Bulwark in this matchup, because it's only Cinderace, and I don't think you bring Bulwark for the Cinderace. So, I go for the Double Edge again, but then they show Bulwark, and I'm like, okay, that's really bad. Cinder being burned is not good. So, I'm just going to double out into the Lando, as they're going to show Clear Amulet as they swap out into the Aloe. I'm going to U-turn out into my Hydropolis. We're going to see a Flip Turn come out. We're going to see the Gouging come out here, as we're going to take a Heat Crash and just fire Fickle Beam and pick up the KO on the Gouging. Then he's going to come out, as I'm going to just sack my Cinderace off to this Thundy. And we're going to go Lando here. Got a Scream Scarf, so I'm just going to go for a U-turn. We're going to get the pivot off out into our Hydrapple. And now here again, I should just be going Keldeo. Keldeo is unguardable from them. Terra fighting or should just net me a kill here. So, a little bit of goob on my part. Al comes out on the U-turn as I'm going to go into the Hydrapple. We're going to see Lich can come off on a Fickle Beam. We're going to get the All Out and do 41, but doesn't kill. They get the H-Wish off. Unlucky. Now, Boulder comes out. They're able to pick up the KO on the Hydrapple. As now I go Keldeo, and I'm just going to Terra fighting here, so no point not. We're going to Secret Sword, the Thundy. We do nothing because of light screen. We're gonna go hard out into the Lando here. Seju's gonna come out, not do a lot. Now I just have to hope they give me the Thunder. As they stay in, we miss the Stone Edge. So now Gren comes out on us. We're gonna Stone Edge. We do a lot to the Gren. But Gren gets to they get to Water Shuriken us. So they get the boost. Now Keldeo comes out. I know we're gonna take a Shuriken. Move back anyway though, just to prevent extra sensory. As Thunder comes out, now I should have to click Vacuum Wave as I am Specs. Now here I'm like, okay, the only way I can win is if I can lift T-Bolt into Sludge Wave and I can heal up my Keldeo. Unfortunately, we do not get that as they get it, not super like with rolls, but I think it was like a little in our favor to live. I don't need to change much. I think we lost anyway. But we got it down to a 2-0, so that means we make playoffs. Yeah, I will see you all for our quarterfinals matchup. Alright, so here we are with the quarterfinals matchup. We are facing Mr. OG Albina again. But we have a lot better prep this time, so pretty huge. So we know that Owen's team consists of Roaring Moon, Tinglu, Terramoth, Petulant, Mesprit, Terramanaphy, Zapdos, Galar, and Dashman. Now I think he will for sure bring Terramoth over Terramanaphy this time. I think the rest of the team is going to be pretty similar. So we'll get into what I brought. So our team for Owen this week is a Policy, Bulky, Trick Room, G-King with Sludge Bomb, Psychic, Ice Beam, Trick Room. We live no attack EQ from Ting after rocks plus 1 spike or 3 spikes. That's for the rest of this attack. Lando has a little bit of speed for Mesprit, and then we're just super bulky to take on the moon. Then we have Psychic. That's a mid ground between Petulant and Zapdos. Cinder is just Tiny Moon, and we are a bulky set to live Spec Sludge from Moth. We have Pyro, Taunt, U-Turn, and Core Change. Then we have Scarf, Water, Keldeo. Will not be tearing this Keldeo this game though. We have Surf, Secret Sword, Pump, and Flip Turn. We are just creeping at those max accuracy and HP. Then we have a Helmet, Unaware Clef, Moonblast, T-Wave, Moonlight, and Calm Mind. We have Spit After Live, a Sludge from full from Specs Moth when I'm at +1, or non-Spec Sludge from full when I'm at +0. And then we have the rest in defense. And then for Hydrapple, we live 2 non-spec Sludge from full, and we live in -1 Proto attack outreach from full. Rest is in Spadak. So, Terra Dragon, Hydrapple with boots, Frickle Beam, Draco, Gig Drain, Recover, minus speed. So in Trick Room, we're slower than Ting. So this team is that there is no answer for Dragon Hydrapple long term. Everything just gets worn down. So we have a bulky team around that with Scarf Keldeo to pick up Moth and outspeed the Gyarados if needed. But yeah, pretty simple build. We'll get into the game. We are here for our quarterfinals battle. We're gonna load up. We are gonna see that there is no Manaphy when we see the Iron Moth, so pretty big. So we're gonna lead off. We see it's our Fire Moth. We're gonna get our Hydrapple and Moth lead. So we try to get this Terra Dragon off right away, as we're gonna see Terra Fire Specs Overheat come off right away. We're gonna crit Fickle. Unfortunately, not all out that would have killed, as we should have free Fickle as he was Mesprit. Here I go Lando. Was safer to go Cinderace because Ice Beam was a possible click, and if it is rocks, I just U-turn on Mesprit and Lando after, but we didn't get punished, so it's all good. Esma's gonna come out on the rocks, but I'm able to absorb the overheat with this Hydrapple here. I say absorb for day 63. But I'm able to pivot into Keldeo here on the -2 overheat. Only take 38. As I'm then able to flip turn out. I shall Lando here because Lando forces in this Ting, and then forcing in the Ting is just free apple recovery. I don't want to let in the Petulant right at the moment because my Slowking Trap only works if I can get it in on Malignant, and the best way to do that is to get Hydrapple high and then get the Petulant in. So here I get recover off, and this is where you're gonna go for malignant like 10 times or 10 times with Petrant. So I should go hard soaking here, catch some malignant. And then Shadow Ball is gonna come out from the sky, and we're gonna pop the policy to KO. Okay, I should something funky happen like OBS, but heck, I think this was the turn that it paused at. So we're just gonna keep going from here. Just before this, I swapped in on the Petrant Malignant, took the Shadow Ball and killed it with +2 Psychic. Tinglu comes out, so I'm just gonna go hard Hydrapple on EQ. I get crit. Now here I'm just gonna recover to make sure I'm not in any danger of dying to 2 EQs or anything. Just gonna recover up as Mess is gonna come out. I'm gonna go to sack my G King while also protecting against Encore. As we do see the Encore come out, we're gonna take a Side Shock. We're gonna barely live. And we're gonna get a Trick Room up for our Hydrapple after this. It's far for Sludge Bomb. As we luckily get the poison there, which is gonna be pretty nice. Mess is gonna pick up the kill with the U-turn. Out comes Tinglu, but my Hydrapple just comes out for free, and we'll be able to take the 1v1 on the Tinglu and still be in a good spot to win after, or not to win, to get value after this Tinglu. Unfortunately, we don't get the Tuca with the Gig Drain. Uh, dodge a little Ruination here, which is nice. We're just gonna kill him with a Fickle Beam to protect the swap. As Messward's gonna come out, Messward's not gonna really threaten me at all, so they're just gonna Side Shock as I pick up the hit with a Fickle Beam here. Poison, getting a little extra chip. Now Moon's gonna come out. Moon's gonna show a Proto Attack, so I'm just gonna hard pivot out into my Lando. Knockoff's gonna come out. You can take Helmet Chip. I'm just gonna go for a U-turn here as he goes for a Dragon Dance. Now I'm just gonna go to my Cinder, force him to EQ to kill if they have it, which they don't. So I'm gonna take the knockoff, kill the Moon with the U-turn. As I just get to pivot out into my Hydrapple again, and just I'm not able to they're not able to kill me. I'm gonna end up fickling Zapdos before they can break this Hydrapple. Luckily I get an all out there to end it right away, but without the all out I was in a fine spot. So I'm gonna be a nice, pretty dominant 5-0 win here in quarters over Owen. It's gonna advance us to semis. So let's get over to that matchup. All right, here we are in semis. We are playing Orin Latios. Orin's team consists of Terra King Gambit, Latios, Metagross, Fezandipity, Sandy Shocks, Terra Suicune, Talonflame, and Zarude. So the team I'm bringing this week is a mixed bulk G-King. We live 2 Soldu Psyshocks, and then we have the rest in the Spidef. This is our swap to Laddie. We have Sludge Bomb, Psyshock, Fuchsia, and Chili. Then we have a Lando here, rocking EQ, U-turn, Rock Tomb, and Rocks. We live a Soldier Draco after Rocks from the Latios. We live a +1 Terradark Kowtow from King Gambit majority of the time. We're faster than Adam Metagross, and we Tuco Spiff's Suicune with EQ after 2 rounds of Rocks. Let's show the extra little bit into defense there. Our next one up is our Cinderace, rocking a bulky Cinderace this week with Pyro, U-turn, Super Fang, and Court Change with Boots. We're faster than Laddie. We Oko, a Max HP Talonflame. Never mind, I forgot to update my notes. I had Smackdown for Talonflame and I got rid of it. And then I think the bulk is for is living Suicune Scalds after I lose fire. Next mon up we have Keldeo. This Keldeo lives a +2 5-fainted Terra Dark Sucker Punch from King Gambit after a Spike or 2 rounds of Rocks. We're creeping a Zarude that's creeping a Keldeo, creeping a Zarude that's creeping Lando. So, in put that simpler, Lando's hitting 309, so Zarude would creep to 310. If Zarude creeps to 312 to cover a Keldeo creeping 311, we are hitting 313. And we have Specs with Surf or Sphere, Vacuum Move, and Secret Sword. Specs Surf still hits insanely hard. Forest and Lottie. Lottie doesn't want to take Secret Swords either if we can. If there's no Fez, we're able to click that pretty freely. Next up, we got a Scarf Clef again. We're rocking Stealth Rock and Knockoff Healing, which is Encore. We have speed to get above Gambit, and Never mind, I forgot to update this. I'm so cool, dude. But if I do assume off speed, we are creeping like Zarude or something. And then we have max HP, rest and defense. Our Hydrapple or Rocking Chair Steel AV Hydrapple here. This is gonna be the Terra with Dragon Pulse over Fickle Beam for PP. So Dragon Pulse, Giga Drain, Earth Power, and Dragon Tail. Uh, we 2-go max HP Metagross with Earth Power. We kill Lottie with Fickle plus Giga plus Rocks, but now we have Deep Pulse. We kill anyway. We have 2 Evo Orspheres after Terra and Spike. And we live a +2 no Overlord low kick from Gambit after Rocks because I had defense Spike. So let's get into the game here. Okay, here we are with Flamies against Orin. They're gonna load up. We're gonna see that there's no Shocks and no Zarude. And we're gonna uh start the battle up here as we see Terra flying on the lead Gambit, and we're gonna see Terra water on the Suicune. So we're gonna lead into Defiant Gambit, but I'm just gonna get my rocks up here. We're gonna take a Kowtow. Now here I'm stupid and just decided to give up my Lando. But we will go into Clef and Encore him into Sucker Punch as I swap out to Keldeo. Let's try and cover as many options as I can. As Fez is going to come out, I'm going to hard swap out into my G-King on an Icy Wind. Fez and W is going to U-turn out into the Metagross here, as I'm just going to go for a Chilly Reception. Now here, I should have Cinderace come out, as I can pressure this thing with Powerball. He's going to go hard Suicune. We're going to hit him with a Powerball, and it's going to show he's not super bulky. We're just going to go for a U-turn here and hit another 23, which again shows he's not a very bulky Suicune. As the Ice Beam comes out in this 23, which reveals specs, but I just did not calculate this at the time. I just figured that, it was normal Suicune. So my next few plays are a little dumb. But, so Metagross is going to come out here as I go for a Future Sight. I'm going to go hard Hydrapple on an EQ. Now I can't stay base and take a Ice Punch, so I'm going to Terra. We're going to take the Ice Punch. I'm going to Earth Power here. Now this wasn't a great play because I had recognized before the game I can't ever pop Weakness Policy on this guy. If I do, I just lose if he's Agility. So this should have been a Dragon Tail. I couldn't Earth Powering here into Policy Agility was like the biggest lose con. Uh, so while I didn't think he would be Policy Agility this early, it's like a force click. I have to Dragon Tail there. That was a bad play. He's gonna come out. We're just gonna be able to Earthquake meta. Suicune's gonna come out on the Hydrabble here as I'm just gonna pivot out into my Gloking. And this is where I take a 41 from Surf, and then I realize, okay, he specs. So we're gonna pivot to my Keldeo, who still takes 32, but because we're so bulky, you can still take hits from Gambit pretty well. So I'm just gonna Secret Sword here. Pheasant Deputy's gonna come out, and I'm gonna go hard into my G-King on another U-turn, as Gambit's gonna come out this time. So rocks are gonna go up. I'm just gonna Chilly, realizing that it's most likely gonna be an SD or a Rock's turn, as I can go out into my Cinderace, and I can Powerball. I get a nice crit, it's pretty lucky, as Cato's gonna come out. And again, I'm just gonna give up my Cinderace to Sucker instead of going hard Keldeo for some reason. As he's gonna Sucker my Keldeo do 20. Big justified boost is I'm gonna pick up the KO with Surf. Latios is gonna come out, and I'm just gonna go hard out into Hydrapple here. So we're gonna see Psychic Noise come out, and here, this is just a like me not knowing the mechanics of Psychic Noise. I thought this stopped regen. So I didn't want to swap out to like G-King on Psyshock and then get Psynoised and I'm not able to heal and then this Latios is just claiming everything. So I decided I just want to sack the Hydrapple here because I thought they would stop my regen. It doesn't. Um so now I can go into G-King. Draco's gonna come out. We're gonna live as I go for a Sludge Bomb. We're gonna get a nice little poison there. As I'm just gonna go hard Clefable here. As this Latios is gonna show recover. I'm just gonna go for the knock here. Get rid of the Latios orb. Let my G-King come in on it easier. Fez is gonna come out, lose its boots. So I'm just gonna go hard back out into the G-King. Now Talonflame's gonna come out. Now he's gonna take rocks, and he ended up being banned at Talonflame here. So I go for Future Sight, and I was like possibly game losing. I don't know why I didn't just attack. Um, but I go for the Future Sight. I get a live on 2, which was huge. As I go hard Fable here, take 75. I live on 1%. As Talonflame comes out, or Talonflame dies, and the Suicune comes out. But because I'm Scarf, I'm able to get the Healing Wish off. As Suicune's gonna get down to the Future State. Now my Jeekins can come out, and I'm in a pretty comfortable spot. Um, as Fezzinib's gonna come out, Acid Spray me. I'm gonna hit him with a Psyshock. Now Laddie comes out. I'm forced out as Jacob could Oko. He's gonna go for the recovery here as I swap out into my Keldeo. But I'm still able to get a little bit of Vacuum Wave Chip. He side noises me. And with the combination of Poison plus Orb, he's not able to ever heal into a range. We can take hits from my sweet or my Slowking. So we're just able to Sludge Bomb him down, and he's not able to end up winning this. You have to get Draco and the Draco crit if you manage to get up where you could live. But see, it doesn't happen. You only got the one attack off. We get to live. Now, we did end up winning, which is great. We get to go to finals. That's the main thing that matters. But this was a really horribly played game looking back at it. So there's no reason for me to stack this land though. This early, I have my super bulky Keldeo I can go out into for free. Um, and then we get into this situation where I didn't calc the Suicune damage, so I went for Future State, which is just a bad play. And then I'm gonna go into my Hydrapple, and then I'm gonna Earth Power and potentially activate the only lose con I had here. Um, but then we get around that. Uh, and then here I just said to give up my Cinderace for Sucker Ball or to Sucker Punch on Kingambit for no reason when I have my Keldeo swap, and I know he's going for the Sucker there. Um, and me not knowing the mechanics of this, I have a free pivot out into Jeking on an Orsphere, but I'm just not. I didn't like know the mechanics. I looked it up, I think, but I clearly didn't like dig enough before I decided. So that's just a bad play. Just giving my my apple. Um, going for the Fuchsia here was pretty dumb. It would have been better for me to just go for the like Psychic Sludge Bomb, whatever. And this guy's in boots. So, like, if you're not boots Talonflame, you're gonna be probably be banded. Or you're gonna be an offensive set at least. So I should have just attacked, taking my damage on Talonflame. But then we ended up getting lucky. We got 2 very low percent lives. Now, if either of these had a killed, I would have just straight up lost. But yeah, we ended up getting a nice win this game. Or not nice, we got a win, which is at the end of the day all we needed. Yeah, that's gonna be it for the semis game. I will see you all in finals. All right, here we are. Finals time. We are playing Khaz yet again. No surprise. Not facing him in quarters or semis kind of meant we were facing him in finals. No place I would have rather faced him though. Khaz's team again consists of Darkrai, Iron Hands, Crocodile, Primarina, Overpon, Teal, Terra, Necrozma, Terra Regidrago, and Terra Orthworm. Exact same matchup as regular season, no changes on the other side. But we are definitely gonna have our work cut out for us this week. Skaz is a phenomenal player, and not to like be Debbie Down or anything. But Kaz is very clearly a better player than me, and it is hard to not only get a win against a better player when they are the caliber that Kaz is, but to get one twice over them is so hard. So I grinded out this matchup as much as I could, and I got something I thought was pretty consistent, and I didn't think I could really get to anything much better. And then I've just played well to be able to get the win here. So our team for this week is like the second or third piece I ended up coming up with. We have a Scarflando here. We're fast and adamant mod is +1 Drago. And then we live a max attack -1 Ice Punch after rocks from hands. And I should have the action to attack here. We got EQ, U-turn, focus less than rocks, focus less for the Orthworm. EQ is pretty good. Like outside of the Orthworm, rocks in case I need to get them up and my Clefable isn't able to. And then you have U-turn to momentum. Next, we have our Wincon Cinderace, rocking a Blaze Salac SD set with Pyro, Endure, Pyro, SD, Endure, and Gunshot with Salac and Blaze. We should have Speed for Ogre, Max Attack for damage, and then we have an optimal HP number, so we can sub down into Salac range. And we live a Max Attack Surf after rocks with a Light Screen. Next up, we got our lead here. We have Policy CM, Terra fighting Keldeo, with Surf, Secret Sword, Vacuum Move, Calm Mind. Keldeo is very bulky. We're just going down to Adamant Modest Drago. We have Max Modest because we need all the damage you can get for this. And then one for an optimal HP number for hazards if I have to switch out, and put the rest in defense. Next up is a Spadef Unaware Clef with Knockoff, Encore, Moonblast, and Rocks. We live a E-Belt, Terra Steel, Terra Blast from Drago, and then we have enough left to live 2 Sledge Bombs from Darkrai most of the time. I couldn't quite get it to where I live both of them 100% of the time. But I was able to get it where it's, like, very, very small. It's like you see, like, pretty much 2 max rolls, so it's in my favor by a decent amount. Next is our Japple. If we don't tear Keldeo off lead, we're going to be tearing this guy, obviously. We live 2 Spec Surfs from Prim, and we live a Close Combat if we are teared. And we live 2 if we are not teared from the hands. It's a bulky AV set with Power Whip, Giga Drain, Fickle Beam, and Dragon Tail. Power Whip is for a potential CM Prim, so you can't just CM up on us. And I have Detail to be able to phase with the Ogre, because last time we would have lost if we didn't get the All Out because we had no way to phase out +2 Ogre. And then last up we got Sableye. To be honest, I'm not sure what this invest was exactly for. It has the Spidef is something from Darkrai, and the Fizdef is just the leftover from what I would assume. With rocking dual screens, likely with Recover, Light Screen, Reflect, and Knock. Get screens up, get into Cinderace, win is pretty much the goal of the end game. So I'll see you all in the battle here. Alrighty, we're here for the finals battle. So we load up, we're gonna see that they benched Orthworm and they benched the Drago. Pretty much what I expected. I knew the Drago could for sure be dropped. It didn't really do anything last game. Having a Crook would have been much better for him, I felt. So let's get into the battle here. We are going to load up. We're gonna lead our Keldeo into the Necro. And we already started off with a misplay. Woohoo! So misplay. The plan was always to CM. But I was looking, I was like, physical damage here. Or the damage from the surf is really nice. I'm just gonna go for the surf, and if you pause my policy, I can pressure whatever comes in as well, leave this guy low. But Necro's very free healing on my team. Like I don't really threaten him from half. It's like barring my setup Cinder. But you're not gonna be trying to heal on my Cinder, so you're gonna get pretty free heals on everything else. And setting up a Calm Mind here and guaranteed nets me a kill because nothing's able to swap in. One Necro will die to Surf, so Necro can't stay in unless he wants to sack it. And if he does decide to switch out, nothing can switch into the combination of Surf plus Secret Sword, or Surf plus Vacuum Move, or just Surf plus Surf. So, Calm Mind here was always the play, would have guaranteed net me a kill. We're gonna Surf. Hopefully, we can still pick up a KO as this Keldeo is still pretty strong here. Pulse's gonna pop as they're gonna go hard Prim. I'm gonna Surf. This is where not having the +3 really hurt because I wasn't able to kill this guy with Surf and the Secret Sword. So I didn't end up netting a kill with my Keldeo. I pretty much got all Prim and I got half Necro, but could have got way more. So we're gonna EQ the Prim, pick up the K with Orlando. I'm just gonna hard out into the Apple here with Crook. They're gonna set up the rocks as I'm just gonna Gig Drain here. Now Necro can heal, but you're not getting any progress if you do, so I was fine just stalling it out. I do unfortunately miss that Dragon Tail, so they're gonna be able to Photon me for 26. Not a lot, but unfortunate chip. As Necro's gonna come back out, as I'm gonna have to tear it and not die to Ice Beam from Darkrai. As again, I'm just fine stalling out all these uh, Moonlights, but I'm gonna miss another detail, so I'm gonna swap it to Sableye on the Photon here. He's just gonna take his free chip, assuming I'm gonna follow the same sequence. So Crook is gonna come out. I'm just gonna fire off a knockoff here, knowing that he's gonna go to one of his dark types. We're gonna get the helmet off of Crook, as I'm gonna set up a reflect here, and then I'm gonna get crit through reflect from knockoff. Now I'm just gonna recover up. I should just recover it again here, but I kind of panicked and switched out a little early. Wanted to get my Hydropple in behind the reflect. Um, as Necro's gonna come out on another Giga Drain, so he's still taking a decent chip from this. And that's 3 Moonlights down already, so Necro can just keep switching in, but he's not gaining anything from this, he's gaining a tiny bit of health, and we're selling his recovers, so I'm fine with this exchange. As we're just gonna keep pulling, the Crook, after Necro swaps out, so that's, like, 5 Moonlights done, so Hydrapple's selling this guy pretty well. As we're gonna go hard Sableye here on the Heavy Sand from hands. We're unfortunately gonna lose our Sableye. As I'm gonna go Lando, knowing he has to fear me being Yachi again. Crook's able to come out, but Crook's able to eat this pretty well. We can't quite take a knock off and lose our Scarf yet. I want for the Darkrai. As Necro's gonna come out on the Clef, as I'm just gonna Moonblast him. Photon's gonna come out here, do a little under half. That's gonna Encore, predict against CM. As they're gonna go hard Ogre as I Moonblast here, and I get this backdrop giving the Defiant boost, so that is brutal. So they're just gonna Cudgel, pick up the KO on the Clefable, so I'm forced out into my Hydrapple here, and I have to hope I'd hit a Dragon Tail, which I do, thankfully. So he phases it out. My hands is here. I call he's gonna Ice Punch for my Lando. I stay in. I get big Fickle Beam, chip. Now here, I knew he's gonna CC, and I had the thought of switching out to my Lando, but I kind of just pussied out of it. But looking back, I did need to make that play to get back into it. So Lando's gonna come out here. We're gonna drop the attack of hands as they're gonna go hard Crook. Now here, I have to KO the Crook because Crook just cooks knock into my Cinder, and I lose my Salic and I just lose. So now here, I'm just trying to get Necro as low as I can for my Cinder. Like it's just chip him down as far as possible. He doesn't have many heals left because my Hydrapple was able to stall a lot of them out. So I know he's not able to set up to the moon here. He's gonna get a few CMs off for sure. Like he's gonna get pretty up there. Um, but we are able to keep him around half, which is what we need. He's gonna photon, pick up the kill on Lando, and now we go for the win here. We click Endure. We're gonna take the photon, go down to 1, pop our Salic, hit our Blaze, and then we just have to hit for Pyros. We need to get a little lucky with damage on Necro and a little lucky with damage on hands, but I'm pretty sure the rolls on Necro and hands are in my favor, I do believe. Um, and then Darkrai and Ogre do just drop to us. So if I can get a little lucky with hitting 4 and getting the rolls, I would be able to pick up the finals win here. So we're gonna go for the Endure. We're gonna eat the Photon. He's gonna bring me down to 1 HP. In Blaze, I get my Salic, I Pyro, but I don't get the roll on the Necro, unfortunately. So I think the Necro roll may have been in his favor. Um, but even if I did hit it, it wasn't guaranteed win. I had to get fairly lucky with getting everything as well. It was like I think we mathed it after. It was like a 10.6 chance of me hitting all 4 pyros and getting the 2 rolls I needed. But all in all, it was close. I had it. I had it there. It was possible. I almost swapped to adamant for the game, but I didn't want to greed adamant and have the ogre at speedy or anything like that. I figured he would always be adamant ogre here, but you never know. So that oof, that's unfortunately going to be the end of our Magic Draft League run. lost in finals again. Um, little, I don't want to say unlucky because it wasn't really an unlucky game. Like I had two, I have a few Dragon Tail misses on the Necro, which were obviously annoying, but they weren't the end of the world. Like it wasn't my idle one if I had that. Crook got the crit through Reflect on my Sableye, but I should have just recovered again. So that wasn't really the like a super unlucky situation. It was unlucky that he crit me through screen, but I had a play that would alleviated the how devastating it was. So that part was just on me. Um, Now the Moonblast drop on the Ogre was pretty unlucky. As I do believe my Cinder lived Tantrum after Rocks if he wasn't E-Belt. Um, so that was another thing that was pretty unlucky. This was like the Moonblast drop was really the dagger, but all in all, it was a fun season. I enjoyed all the games. Finals is never something I'm gonna be upset about. I do wish we could have pulled this one through, but like I said, Kaz is better than me. Pretty obvious. Uh, his team is better than mine, in my opinion. I think he has like the best team in the league, and he it's too hard to beat him twice. Like if I had a lost the first game, maybe my chances would have been like better here. Um, but it's so hard to beat the same player twice, especially when they are better than you and the caliber of player that Cass is. So I knew I was at a disadvantage coming in, but didn't give up. We almost had it, but unfortunately we fell a little short. So that's gonna be for this part. I'm gonna show one last segment here at the end. So we'll see you guys in that. Alright, so I just wanted to throw a little tag piece on at the end here. And just like highlighting some stuff through the season. So like first off, this team I had was so fun. Keldeo was a blast to use this season. I really liked the team I had around it. It was really I liked how versatile it was, and it could be a team that I showed I can just build to be fully supportive of Keldeo being the main progress maker and being a more bulky style team. But then there are other weeks where you can have an offensive Ish King, offensive Lando, offensive Cinder, offensive Keldeo. It has modes that could be offensive or defensive. And I just really enjoyed that in prep. I thought it was really fun. It was very good to use. Keldeo felt really strong this season, and I kind of got showed by when he kills it. Got 31 kills in 8 games is by far the most kills I've ever had with a Mon. It had over double the second place Mon. It's just really fun to get to use them throughout the entire season. Uh, Playoffs, obviously didn't go how we wanted, but still going from second seed or seventh seed, probably not expected to win against the second seed, especially when Owen had such a good season and is such a good player. But just to make it to finals alone and have not get totally beat down, there was at the end there's still a good chance I did win. With the Cinder, unfortunately, this one isn't the world we live in. Um, so a little unfortunate, but it's not the end of the world. Um, we did end up only coming seventh seed as we didn't have the greatest diff, and we definitely didn't play as good as we could have in games. But that's not the end of the world. It was a really fun league overall. I again want to give a big shout outs to Keegan for making the league, inviting me, Kaz for like getting me in here and getting the league going. As well, I just want to give a big shout out to all the people that helped me throughout the season. Um, Kaz was a big help. King05 helped a decent bit. Dustin, Lexi, Hearth, Sage, Rain, all those guys were big helps with mocking. Pretty much every week, Ty helped me quite a bit. Thanks to him too. Yeah, that's gonna be for me today. I will see you all next time. Peace.